I thought it was passion I was pursuing. But when I became depressed, I think after law school, I realized that this isn't really me. I don't want to be doing events. I don't want to be going for parties.
There's something that you've done different. You've taken an old industry and you've innovated around it. How did you come about that mindset to like dub yourself the cleaning king?
Yes,
the cleaning king.
People eventually realize what cleaning service is. People like me that are in the industry now will be way gone. I've seen the duty I have as a cleaning practitioner beyond just cleaning and earning from it. I've become more of a custodian of the sanctity of our environment. I have a dream of dominating Africa. I want to be involved in those conversations regarding sustainability. I want them to erect a statue for me somewhere and say, here lies YAZ, the guy that did it.
All right, so guys, welcome. Today I have someone that I consider really phenomenal. I mean, he's a guy that he has a very interesting background, you know, someone that has reinvented himself, and reinvented himself. And I said it 3 times because I've seen him do a whole lot of things. I might be wrong with the number of times, actually, but I'm sure it's more. It can't be less than those 3 because I've seen those 3 with my own eyes. And he's someone that has a lot to teach us, really, about building an enterprise from scratch, you know, and also from Africa, from the ground up, taking industries that seem old school and introducing new innovations into them. He's a very, very great thinker. You know, he's someone that dares and really pursues his visions, and always someone that also shares from his failure. So you look forward to hearing things that he might not even, you might not even have thought he would share, but he's actually someone that shares it. And I really love the fact that he made out time to be here with us. So if you are watching this channel right now, share this video with someone, like it, comment on it, let us know, you know, how you found this video. And I look forward to reading your comments and reading your recommendations in the comment section below. So guys, let's move into the episode. Today, I have the one and only YAZ. YAZ, please, can you introduce yourself really for our audience in a way that you would like best?
Thank you so much, Mr. Elijah. Okay, guys, my name is Yazeed Yakubu Esq, YAZ the Cleaning King. I run a cleaning service business based in Abuja, Kaduna, and Kano. I'd like to say that I'm the leader of the elite cleaning force, the president of the Cleaners Network, the convener of Project Clean Abuja. I am everything cleaning.
Okay, I mean, it's quite interesting. I like the fact that you introduced yourself like that, right? Because something that just came to my mind is that you introduced yourself as ESQ.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So I believe that means that you're a lawyer.
Yes.
Okay,
title has to always be there. You know, Nigerians, they like title, first of all.
Yes, we like it.
So it's part of the branding aspect.
Okay.
You know, so that whenever I introduce someone, whenever I go somewhere and introduce myself as a cleaner, they still know that, okay, this guy is a lawyer, as a cleaner.
So what exactly in your background, have you always been entrepreneurial? Like, do you come from an entrepreneurial background? What has really driven you the way you are? Or should I say driven you crazy? Because I kind of feel like most entrepreneurs are crazy people.
We are. It takes, you can even almost run into depression through it. Well, I feel like I've always been entrepreneurial, come to think about it. Because my family are mostly made up of civil servants.
Okay.
And even when I even decided to tread the path of entrepreneurship, it seemed as if I was about to commit a taboo. Especially the type of industry I wanted to delve in. Yeah. Especially when my mother heard that I want to stop working in my law firm and start picking up people's laundry up and down in Abuja. So while I finished law school, when I started going to court, I was dozing. Like
really?
I was sleeping in court. And I kept on asking myself, is this truly for me? Is this really what I want? And when I checked my salary at that point, I now still asked myself, is this how I want to be? So I'm saying some people might not agree with me, some people watching this, but I feel like, again, they've painted a facade of what law truly is in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. If you look at like 80% of the people that are practicing, 80% of lawyers are not successful. Because I even use my law firm as a case study. It's only the guys at the top echelon of the firm, which is like from the senior advocates, the partners, and like us downwards. And I saw guys that were in their 40s, guys that were in their 30s. I was like, this is how I want to be in the next 10 years. So I just, I pulled out. I saw an opportunity at home with laundry service, and I took it.
So, but I mean, before I saw you with the laundry service, I also saw a stage. You had an advertising agency. You went into marketing.
Yes. That was more of like university. So it was more of like photography.
Okay.
From secondary school. I started as a photographer in secondary school. I used to cover weddings in Kaduna and Kano. I think at like
secondary school.
Yeah, like in my 100 level, 200 level, I didn't used to make money from it. I just used to follow one guy, Ella, one guy like this. I used to just follow him up and down, and I spend money on my accommodation. And I'll lie to my parents that one of my friend is getting married, but my mom knew about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would go cover weddings. I come back, gain the experience. Then when I got to school, I transitioned because I saw that there was still an opportunity to take advantage of. So I started doing events for my school. So from there, I became popular. I now took those events from school. I started doing like general Abuja activations. So there was a time where, let's say you wanted people from base to come for something. I was the guy you go to. So I partnered with some of my friends in Veritas, University of Abuja. We became like a clique. So if clubs were doing activations, they came to us. If there was a general Abuja event, they came to us.
Wow.
So, but when I practiced it for a period of time, this is another very interesting part, Elijah. I realized that it's not actually what I wanted to do. I was mainly doing those things because I wanted to be popular. I didn't, because I don't really see what the money I really made from it. Yes, I was collecting money from some of the services I was rendering, but it was not worth taking. You know, when you have passion for something, sometimes when you claim you keep money aside because you claim you're pursuing passion. But I thought it was passion I was pursuing. But when I became depressed, I think after law school, before I delved into this laundry service business, I realized that what I did for like 4 or 5 years with YAZ Media to an extent was simply because I just wanted people to know me. I wanted to prove a point. I wanted to be the guy.
So there was a level of self-awareness that you came to.
Yes, I realized that this isn't really me. I don't want to be doing events. I don't want to be going for parties. I don't want to be going clubbing. I want to be someone that when people look at me, they'll be like, okay, not that I'm throwing any backlash at people in that industry.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean,
but I'm just saying that.
But that was not yours.
Yes, and I always knew that I was always going to get married early. I didn't want to have, okay, when my child is with me, and then she or he will be like, okay, daddy, so I should have, something that they would look up to in a positive light to offer. So I became depressed and I transitioned from that. Not that I'm not going to go back to the media with time, but I feel like when I go back, it's not going to be more of advertisement and agency. It's going to be more of just, telling stories and pushing narratives and just teaching.
Yeah, I mean, I see also that reflected even in the work that you do.
Yes.
It's quite interesting because I also see how you infuse it, and we'll dive into it. But so you were working in a law firm.
Yes.
And you found yourself dozing in court.
I was. I always thought.
And then you said, in fact, I want to start washing clothes.
Not even that. I think I'm an opportunist, Elijah. I'm type of person now that I can come to this plaza bar. If I come to this plaza and I see that you people need an amala stand here, I can come back next week and rent a small space and start selling amala. I just see what you need. Just like how I said I started that entertainment because when I was in school, I saw that my school didn't have that social life. I transitioned from photography to an entertainer back then in school.
Okay.
So I can, just like my popcorn business, for instance.
Okay.
It was something my elder sister used to do during COVID when we're all at home. She does it in the kitchen to make movies. And I'm like, oh, I have a space in my UC2 office. Why not just buy a popcorn machine there and start doing it? And look at it today.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about you yesterday with one of my business partners. He told me that he bought a bucket. I was like, huh? I didn't even know that.
So
he really loves it anyway.
So you can imagine. So for me, it's more of I go home. During that period where I was having that, what do I do next? But we just moved to a new house in Life Camp, and my parents were having to take their clothes from Life Camp back to Use Zone 2
to go and wash.
So I was like, wait first. This thing, I can actually start doing it and not just service my parents, but even service a general market. And I didn't even know that it was going to lead me to where I am now. For every phase that I've evolved into, even with the laundry and cleaning business, it's me constantly seeing opportunities that I can take advantage of to just keep on taking it to the next level. I feel like before I die, Elijah, I'm going to do almost like 10 things. Whoever came up with that rule that jack of all trades is master of none is somebody that has not met Yazeed Yakubu. Because I believe that I have that, there's this energy, there's this zeal, there's this fire that burns inside me, that when I think of something, Elijah, I can't sleep anymore. My body starts itching me. It will be doing me tim. I can do it and it will fail.
I mean,
I don't even mind. I was telling someone the other day that most of this material I put out, like documentaries and whatnot, I don't do it for views. I just do it so that because my spirit is telling me that this is what you should do it, keep it moving. One day, somebody gave me a big job one time for cleaning because she watched a documentary of mine that I did like 2 years ago.
Wow.
A 7-figure job. She said, she was like, what type of cleaning company would take their time to document something like this? It means that they pay attention to whatever they are doing.
So you were working in a law firm. How many years did you work there?
I served there. So that was like the first year.
First year.
Then when I was now called to the bar, I went to law school. I was called to the bar. Then I came back there and I got an automatic employment. So even from that period of service, I already knew that
this was not for you.
It was not for me. I've always wanted to be on the move, doing different things, meeting people, But funny enough now, I'm sort of back into it because there's an arm of my business that I don't really put out there. I sort of do property management.
Yes, I see. I think I see
brokering
it
for people. I think I've been doing it for a while, but I've not really put it out there physically.
So basically, you've had reasons to apply some of the skills that you've seemingly left behind as a lawyer and as a media practitioner into what you're doing today. And then also, did you start, I think you said YAZ Pops before YAZ Laundry, right?
No, YAZ Laundry started. Then YAZ Pops came because of YAZ Laundry, because of the space that was just vacant beside me.
Oh, but I tend to have known YAZ Pops before I knew YAZ Laundry.
Are you sure? YAZ Pops came like
I think the noise behind
YAZ
Pops was so...
Okay,
yeah, it came after,
yes.
But I think
2021.
I think, it came before, after.
Then YAZ Laundry came 2019.
Yes,
YAZ Pops came 2021.
yes, I remember
Then now my wife has even taken over. It's now like a decoration, kiddies event business. So you see something that started little.
As a small seed.
Yes.
But then when you started out YAZ Laundry, when you said you were going to do the YAZ Laundry, what was beyond your parents, was there any other motivating factor, and how did that process begin for you? What was the first things you did? Because you had never run a cleaning business before.
Yes. I feel like the motivating factor was create, build.
Okay, that whole
create, build. And seeing as I had done YAZ Media for a while in school for like 3 years, I think again it prepared me for a leadership role, going out there, branding aspect. There are some people now that when they want to start a business, they need to consult with 1 or 2, 3 persons.
Yeah.
I already knew what and what. I feel like my school prepared me to a very large extent because they were like a very tough crowd to pull out for events or things. So I had to do so many things. I had to affiliate with some certain people, do some certain things. I feel like those same antiques can still be applied to business. So I knew that I could do it, but I didn't know that it was going to. I'll be very honest. I didn't know that it was going to blossom into something like this. But from the first month of doing it, catering for my parents, I think my landlord, the guy that later on became my landlord, because when I did it, I posted an advert, and I made my salary within like the first month of it, because I didn't put much money into it. It was just a table, the washing machine that was at home, and an iron that I started with. So I didn't have much. And thank God for my parents, I wasn't paying rent or NEPA bill or water bill. So like this thing has more prospects. I have more time on my hands. If I push it harder, I can actually build it forward. Getting customers was very hard because everybody already has a laundry service they are using. And when you're a newbie in an industry like that, it actually, people are very, very skeptical in using you. So that was when I now decided to go full on into digital marketing. Okay, stop bothering about the people that you know, the people around you. I put a big banner in front of my house in my estate there in Life Camp. But I don't think up to 2 people patronized me for like the 1 year that the business was there. I had to go outside and get patronage from people that are outside. So I feel like my motivating factor was you did this you can do this because you've already done things in the past, and you are the one now that's chosen this path. You quit from your job. Nobody pursued you from your job. You could have probably grown in the law practice and gotten somewhere. So you don't have any choice to fail. If you fail, now you cause harm because you had options. So people always think, this even takes me to another thing, Elijah. People think that when you come from the grassroots, it's harder. But people don't actually know that when you actually come from a family that is sort of well-to-do to an extent, it's actually harder to succeed.
How do you mean?
Let me give you an example. You have options. It's harder to make a choice when you have options. You see a lot of people that have delved into business with 50 million, 100 million. In this Abuja, 150 million.
And they failed.
They failed. Yeah. A lot of them. The most successful people today in this city are not from wealthy families.
Yeah.
They are not. Most of those people now, they entered business with wealth, but they don't know how to create wealth.
Because what you didn't create, you can't recreate.
Yes, so they just came into the business. Okay, open a restaurant is a very typical this thing.
Currently now it's the trend, right?
Yes.
Now, everyone is opening a restaurant.
Open a restaurant. Next year, the restaurant is no longer there. You give the restaurant 2 years, that restaurant has packed off.
Yeah, or if they are still there, they're just crappy.
So for me, I had options. I had easier routes. I could have easily gone for an agency job or a law practice or this thing. I would have been easy living my life this thing. But I'm the one that chose this hard route, and everybody was waiting for me to run back. Everybody was waiting for me to run back and say, okay, Shebi, you said you want to do laundry and cleaning. Let's see how you do laundry and cleaning. And it was not prestigious then. I think it's even me that's changing the culture.
Yeah, I think you are redefining things.
Yes, so it wasn't prestigious. So anytime people still even meet me and my dad keeps on saying that I'm a lawyer. And I'm looking at him like,
are you not a lawyer?
No, but the first he's supposed to say, oh, he's a lawyer and he does business. But the first thing he says is, oh, he's a lawyer, he's this thing. I'm just looking at him that you're forgetting the other part. I can easily get cleaning projects from his friends compared to law jobs.
But he would rather have you.
Yes. I can imagine how many big law projects I could get. How many big cleaning projects I could get. If let's say, oh, he's a lawyer and he also owns a very big cleaning service. You can use him for your office or something.
That's quite interesting. So, but when you just celebrated your 50th anniversary as the cleaning king, and like you said, how was that? What inspired really that whole movement? Because I think there's something that you've done different, right? Which is you've taken an old industry and you've innovated around it.
Yes.
You've told a new story around it. I mean, I know a lot of people that will be within this our generation that won't even think to start a cleaning company because it sounds like what are we doing, right? Like from where to where, you know?
Yes.
So I mean, you've really given it a new narrative, and I must say kudos, really. Well, how did you come about that mindset to do dub yourself the cleaning king? Yes, the cleaning king.
I think when I transitioned from laundry into cleaning, and it started slowly, I think it was Corona period. People kept on asking for cleaning services, and I started the cleaning service. I started learning the processes around it. There was this guy, God bless him, Douglas. He was the one always helping me through that period for my first year before I started employing people. And Elijah, I saw that there was actually, let me not even say money. You know how water is. That's how cleaning is. If you currently underestimate cleaning, it's as if when people eventually realize what cleaning service is, people like me and some other people that are in the industry now will be way gone. Just like how tech is. Some people now that were on top of tech before tech is now everybody's saying that they're trying to be tech.
Fintech especially.
That's how cleaning is currently.
Yeah.
And I said, Kai, as a brand guy, as someone that has background in media, how can you own this thing? How can you dominate it? Because before this interview started, there was something you said that branding is not an investment of now. It's something that you get later. It's a long-term investment that would, give you its bounties you don't even know when it's going to come. Yeah. I was how can you dominate this? It's simply by owning it. And what is everybody not doing? So the problem with most of them most of my colleagues in the industry are bothered about cleaning. So I'm a media guy now that became a cleaner. So I was use your media to brand yourself and set yourself apart. What's the easiest route? Label yourself as the king. The leader of the industry.
That was audacious.
Yes.
I'm sure people just look at you and what are you saying?
What's this guy on top? What's he feeling like? How can you say that he's our leader? How can you say this? But I've even realized that, and again, to add, the industry is looked down on. It is ridiculed. I mean, people even treat cleaners badly. They don't even have rights. They don't have... in fact, in any hierarchy, in any office, in any organization, cleaners are the lowest paid. I think even security and even drivers these days are even getting their full due these days compared to cleaning practitioners. And those my first years where I experienced all of those things, I told myself that you've seen what this industry truly is. You've seen the major problem that people have in the perception and the pricing. What can you also still do to show people that you're an elite cleaner? So that's where if you check YAZ LAUNDRY now, you still call ourselves the elite cleaning force. Yeah. So automatically I've told myself that I don't even work for everybody. Most of you might not even be able to afford me. The fee that Mr. Cleaner A will charge. It's not the fee that YAZ Laundry Cleaning Services charges. And it's quite evident now. And I told myself that I don't want to be working too much. I don't want quality. Quantity.
Yeah.
I want quality because I know how much I invest into materials, into machinery, into certifications, into associations self that most basic cleaners don't think about joining. So I'm like, set yourself apart. Let people understand that you're an elite cleaner. And the cleaning king, again, is sort of another way that I'm pushing that narrative. Aside owning and dominating the industry, becoming the cleaning king helps me to just show that, okay, they are cleaners, but there's YAZ. I don't know if you get me. There are cleaners or cleaners many, but YAZ is just on another league. And I've been able to back it up with quality service. Because again, you can give yourself a name, you can give yourself a title, but if you don't back it up with value, it waters down. Just like how a restaurant can open with so much packaging, and then when you taste the food, it can't bring you back. So I just backed up with quality service and just make sure that whenever you call us, we deliver.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I would say to that really is the fact that for any business, really, it's in brand, we say brand is not really what you say it is; it's what your customers say.
Yes.
It is. But I think also there's a part of you saying who you are, so that you basically give a promise, and then when they come and they attract, and then when they meet that promise, then it becomes a very, very strong brand in the minds of the people. Looking at your years, currently in your 5th year, typically they say most businesses don't survive 5 years.
Yes.
So I think congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You have survived up to the 5th year.
Through all the stormy...
Yeah, which is where I'm getting to, right? Because obviously your journey seems very nice. As a matter of fact, what I love about cleaning is that when I saw your industry, when I saw what you started doing, I was like, this guy's smart. The reason why I said so was that currently, the problem you're solving is actually a problem of contextual living, right?
Yes.
And what that means is where we are right now as a society, we didn't grow up necessarily having cleaners, but with the level of activity whereby you have both genders in the home playing active roles in breadwinning or going out there to make money for the family, eventually everyone will need to have cleaners. Everyone will need to have laundry people. Growing up, when you saw someone that used even washing machine, you thought they were lazy.
Yes.
You have washing machine in your house. Lazy people. You are dirty. If you wash with our hands, and then there was a time where if you needed to have a washing machine in your house. Now people don't even want to wash with washing machines. They rather
just take it out.
You know what? I don't want to iron. I'm tired of ironing.
Yes. Or they take it to a laundromat.
Yes, or a laundromat. And even the laundromat itself. I mean, there are lots of issues of contextual living that are happening. Just the same with food. Right now, people are more open to ordering food bowls and storings in their fridge, because these are the issues of contextual living. So it will only grow. The sector is only looking up. Because then again, cleaning is cleaning. Right?
Yes, this was some of the things you're saying.
Having
some of the things I saw.
Yeah.
Back then, I was like, yes, it's underestimated now, but.
Yeah, and it's only going to grow because I think people who have existed in the industry before had only been people who were doing more of industrial.
Let me not even lie to you. They failed us.
Why do you
see all those
so?
Founding fathers and those people. I say it every time. They know.
Why?
Even in our association, this thing, they don't like me. I tell them, they failed. They failed us. You can't be in an industry as an older person, yeah? Let me use your industry, for instance, Elijah. Yeah. You've grown. You've been talking about me now. So I know this interview is with me, but I'm sure that you are where you are today.
Yeah.
The same time I met you, I remember how takeout was and where it is now. You guys have even started doing something that no one else is currently doing in Abuja, or should I say in your industry, gathering people together to talk about media and technology and various things. Elijah, to a very large extent, the people that came before you laid the foundation for you to be able to be where you are today.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yes. In my industry, we don't have that. They only came in, collected contracts, boom. Even to get advice, like, okay, how can we younger cleaners that are growing up, how do we some of, like me now, as I've turned 5, the next phase for me is governmental. Okay, how can I start managing facilities? How can I start, there's no blueprint for it. And when you ask, there's nobody else that you can even meet to mentor you. And that was one part of the reasons I started. I don't know if you've seen an academy.
Training, your academy, I saw it.
I've trained like hundreds of people. Then because of that now, so many people have even trained, have also started academies. So my industry does not even have a template.
So you're having to write that template?
Yes, and And that's why it's struggling, because people have become billionaires from cleaning. In Lagos, in Abuja, Lagos and Abuja most especially, you have people that
because
are
I mean those
billionaires.
are the most advanced.
Yes, Lagos and Abuja, they are billionaires from it, but then there's no form of give back. There's no form of mentorship. I mean, yes, entrepreneurship is more about creating a source of income for yourself, catering for yourself and whatnot. But then there's still a part of it that still involves the people around you.
You know, I think generally like what you mentioned about TMCon, what we do with TMCon. For us, really, I mean, TMCon costs us millions every year, right? As a matter of fact, I like to tell people that the reason we did TMCon was typically end of the year we'll go to Dubai with my team and then we'll just have holiday. And it was more like, hey, we have done this twice. You know what? Let's do something else. Like let's try and impact community. Let's try and build industry. And at the least amount it costs us to do a TMCon every year should be about $20,000.
So you see, you're giving back.
Yeah, I mean that's our own way of giving back, because we felt like if we are spending that amount of money, you might, and this is even excluding the kind of support that we get, because if I include all the free billboards that some people give us the rest, I mean it goes way beyond that, right? But it's essential for any enterprise to build
the industry,
because if that industry is not thriving,
what did you do?
You eventually will take yourself extinct.
Yes, and you would even fall off.
Because you need to also, those people are kind of like your foundation, what do you call it, bone that would help keep you up, even when you to yourself might not be able to stand.
Do the things, yes.
You know, so I think I agree with you. As entrepreneurs, as much as we might be seeking opportunities for ourselves, it's very important that we are also looking back.
Yes.
We're also trying to mentor, give back, because you didn't exist in a vacuum, you know. And if tomorrow you are no more, the industry suffers.
Yes, it falls.
It
falls.
So
all the hard work you've put in over the years just dies, you know.
So what are some challenges that you've experienced? I mean, you've already said listed some of them. The past 5 years, in retrospect, what are some mistakes
the first major
and lessons?
The first major challenge that I think I experienced that almost even shut down the business from the get-go was electricity. That even almost killed the business from the very get-go. You know, having to do the business in my father's house, we had a normal generator that could not power those industrial ions that we're using, because there's a difference between normal ions. There's a way the normal ions we use at home straight in close differently from those industrial ions, and those industrial ions are heavy. So Elijah, being a go-getter that I am, let's say you pay me like 500 naira then to wash and iron your shirt, and I wash it, and there's no light. I had to take it to advanced laundries that could give me the shirt, where, like, let's say I step in, I give them this shirt, and they give me now, and I give them your entire 500 naira that you gave me for that one shirt.
So you didn't mind making a loss in order to
so you can imagine someone that gave me
demand.
like 50,000, 60,000. I had clients that had a whole lot of clothes, like 60K, 50K, 70K. And I said, Kai, it is not me that electricity will shut down my business, because I'm just starting up. And as a startup in laundry, I said earlier, very few people give you opportunities, because they already have people that are doing laundry for them. They don't want skeptical. Yes. So even if I'm not messing up their clothes, if I'm delaying their clothes, it's a bigger problem. Because again, reliability is a very big problem in my service industry. So I said, no, electricity, no problem. I will make sure that I will lose to build. So I feel like electricity was that major problem until I was able to afford my own space. I mean, my dad had already done a lot for me. I had a place I was not paying rent for.
For that
I could
period.
not ask for more.
That's from your parents' home.
Yes. So when I was preparing to move out from the house, I knew that I had to sort that out. You know. Then we now go to a place now that did not now have water.
So the first one was electricity.
Yes,
then
the
water.
place we moved to, I sorted out electricity. It didn't have water. I can boldly say that we clean the most carpets, like for clients in Abuja. In a month, we do about, let's say, 300 carpets there about in Abuja carpet care.
Wow.
You know, and seeing as that industrial carpet cleaning culture is just building, our major competition is still the guys, you know, in the car wash. You know, but imagine you cleaning 300 carpets, 400 carpets thereabout, and all the carpets now you have to buy water for it, especially in Harmattan period. I came into the property towards like ending of raining season.
So you didn't dig a borehole or something?
They had a borehole, but it was not working during Harmattan period.
Oh, so maybe it was a
bit. Water, yes. So water was another problem. And I'm highlighting these problems because before you even get to finances, these are some two basic things that can even ruin your business, because you can get finance, buy machinery, buy various things, and then you don't have electricity and water to carry out
services.
Especially if you're going into laundry and carpet. Then another major problem, will I say, is staff. It's never ending.
So now I'm talking about your talent, right?
Yes, staff. The cleaning industry has one of the highest turnover of staff.
And why is that?
It's as if they just came to your place to just hold on to something for a period of time. No matter how nice you are, no matter how good you are as an employer, you can't, it's hard. Very few cleaners, stay. Your administrative staff, fine. You see people that will stay with you for 2 years, 3 years, and the likes. Amongst those cleaners, you still find people that are loyal. But I can say that I've employed about 100 plus people over the past over the past 5 years. And it's not something to be proud of. You're supposed to say, okay, you've had this number. My workforce currently is 40 across Abuja and Kano. But the people that have been coming and going.
About 100?
Yes, 100 plus. Somebody comes, some people say within they just do it 2 weeks, they run away.
Why do they?
They tell you that they cannot do the work.
Oh, okay. It's more of the physical
some of those people, but
strain.
It now opened my eyes to like the problems that a lot of people in the grassroots face in the society. And at YLCS, that's one thing that even made me very. If you check out social media, you see that there's this type of family thing we have going on in the office. I'm very involved with them. I know about like what's going on with them. So because beyond being an employer, like we said, do for people around you. I've learned that you must lift people up.
Yeah, very important.
So I noticed that most of these people, they come with so much family problems, baggage. So they're not even in the right state of mind most times. They're just holding on to this to just this. And then even if you're even increasing salaries, even if you're increasing salaries from a particular range to a particular range based on your economical situation, some of them, the problems that they are carrying in their house
still a lot.
Is so much. And then let's now talk about social vices. There's always somebody around the corner telling them about how they can easily take a laptop and do 1 or 2 things and make money and do that and do this.
I think there was a time you posted something about someone who stole something from your organization.
Yes. It's still part of the staff problem where 2 of them collided together. They didn't steal physically. They went back to our Kaduna branch to open up and work throughout December when we had closed. And then something that happened to both of them. One of them stole something from the other, and that was how the matter opened up when they came to Abuja.
Wait, hold on. They went to Kaduna.
We closed down at the end of the year party. They came to Abuja.
They say it's not enough.
We did the end of the year party. And then I passed the guy in Kaduna. As I was working for clients there, he used to collect their personal numbers. That one now you can't stop that really. Structure, you can't stop that because you're not physically there. You can't stop that. Sometimes even the clients that cajole them staff to do this type of things. Not them, yes. So he had his contacts. And most of them were calling. And he said the company had closed only if they want him to come and do it. I think they got a big job for them in their eyes, a job of like about 300 plus. So him and this guy went back to Kaduna to do the job. They stayed in the apartment because it's not an office we have in Kaduna, it's an apartment that we had. So
they used your facility to
meet facility. They even brought girls there. They brought girls to the house. They did their things. They shadowed. They did different things. They enjoyed themselves. One of them now bought a machine from his proceeds from the illegal job he did. A cleaning machine. So it was that cleaning machine now that caused problem because one of them left back to Abuja and left the house for him and his babes for the other one. Then for him to go back to Kaduna to resume, he saw that his machines were not there. So that's when he now raised the alarm in the office that this is what happened. So when he now raised the alarm, the other one now said, but you've not told Oga what actually took us to Kaduna. This is what I want to go to Kaduna. So staff, thank God you even said it. So aside even their high turnover, loyalty, theft, even in Kano that I just opened, I caught them stealing recently. So I even just zeroed my mind. I've zeroed my mind that, when you have branches, just know that at least 10% thereabout of your earnings is not yours. So if 90% is what you're getting, at least thank God and keep it moving. Instead of you and them sharing it 50-50. But staff, let me say electricity, water, staff. I know most people will think that I will say finance. But I've learned that you don't need money to start cleaning business. That's how beautiful the industry is. Because even if you jump into the industrial aspect of it, you would lack customers you struggle for the first 6, 7, 8 months because nobody will give you their commercial property when you don't have experience. What sells most in our industry is experience and a name compared to you coming into it with money. I have a student that came into the industry with 45 million naira last 2 years. He opened in Delta, I think in Abuja. Then his Delta branch, he was more active there. His Abuja branch was just like an outlet. If you see his office, you think it's a fashion house. But it still took him about a year. He's doing well now, but it still took him about a year plus for him to start actually receiving that clientele. I started this business with 50,000 naira now. You can start cleaning business without even owning any machinery. All you just need to do is charge your client, take guys and hire machines and go and do it.
So you start basically.
Yes.
doing
Elijah,
on
the
a
people
per
that are even
project
making money
basis.
in cleaning are not even cleaners. They are like you now, as a brand manager now. You have a client that owns a facility. You are in a board meeting and they say they need cleaning. You tell them that you do it. You call a me or maybe someone that you know that you can easily get good prices from and still make your profit from. You charge what you need to charge.
Yeah, so basically I
and
just
give
broker
it.
the deal.
Yes, so if those are the people that are the richest cleaners, it means that you now entering the industry, you don't necessarily need to have that. It's just you to just understand that you lose some to get some. It means you have to share.
Yeah.
Then as you're making money now, from that your money,
You now
start
start
investing. So most industries, you hear people tell you, oh, finance. When somebody says finance is their problem in cleaning, I tell you that you're not ready. In fact, the most important thing you need to focus on as a cleaner, first of all, is even digitally marketing your brand. Digitally market it, create content, let jobs come. So that when those jobs come, once you are getting those guys to go and work for you, you are there with them supervising the quality control of the job. And then you slowly start investing into machinery. So you can start it with the littlest amount of money. In fact, the only thing you probably need to just buy is maybe an extension and a small ladder. Because maybe you can't find where you rent an extension. I'm telling you.
And where you rent ladder?
Yes. So you get an extension and a ladder, you rent your machinery, you put it in your cost of execution. Money is not a stumbling block for you to start cleaning services. There are women in this Abuja that all they just do is walk around various houses in estates that are being built up. And they write their number on a piece of paper and they give it to you. They can collect a 5-bedroom mansion cleaning. They'll collect it for 100,000 naira. They don't come there with anything aside broom and packer.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you get me. They come in their large numbers and they clean it well. The only problem is just that they end up damaging things sometimes. But imagine those guys got like proper education on.
Yeah, I think I remember there was a time when we were setting up this office. Well, not this office, and one of our other offices, where we brought in some guys, and before you knew it, they poured some chemical. It damaged.
Yes. So that's the only problem. But if those people can actually still clean without having any form of machinery with them, it tells you that there's something about our industry.
Yeah. So I mean, the barrier to entry is quite low, but it takes professionalism to really.
That's now. So instead of machinery, now invest in education.
In learning
the trade, yes. So if you invest in learning the trade, it's even better than taking millions to buy machines without knowing how to clean. Because people think that it's about broom and packer, but it's not.
I mean, it's way beyond that.
Yes, it's beyond that. Yes, it's way beyond that.
Especially, and there are different aspects. There's post-construction cleaning.
Yes, there's
the regular residential cleaning.
There's even janitorial.
Janitorial, yeah. So, I mean, there's a whole lot regarding the whole cleaning space. What are some lessons and some mistakes you've made in the industry that you've learned from and you're currently learning from? I mean, I know in entrepreneurship journey, we're always learning. We're always making mistakes. We're always getting. What are some lessons that you could share with us?
Okay, I feel like one of my biggest mistakes is forgetting about a concept that I've always believed in, which is doing more with less. You know, there's a stage you get to as you're growing, you start feeling like, okay, because you've built a name, there's some certain things you can get away with. So I think I made that mistake in my Kano. If you're saying the biggest mistake I've made, I think the biggest mistake I made is my Kano opening. Entering Kano was a good idea, but I should have still done it the same way. I should have gone with all the balls, but opened in a smaller way. So I opened in Kano with a very high cost of setup. So I entered Kano with millions.
Because you had the resources.
Yes, I had resources now. So I felt like, but I forgot the industry that I was inside. And then again, I failed to do I did my feasibility study. I understood that there was a need because they didn't have that professional cleaning service there. And most of them already knew of my name and my services. But then I should have just gone, maybe the first year, tested the waters and understand like what works and what doesn't work. I knew that they were going to patronize upholstery. I knew they were going to patronize carpet cleaning. But what I forgot was their culture does not allow men in large numbers to be entering people's houses. Because there are 3 wives.
Okay, but I mean, now that you spoke about this, sorry to have cut you there, but you expanded from Abuja to Kaduna
Yes.
before you went to Kano, right?
Yes, yes.
So that means you had experience expanding into a new market.
Yes, in Kaduna.
So what made Kaduna different from Kano? I mean, typically I would have thought they were the same kind of
No,
market.
they are not actually. So the Kano market now, they have more financial power.
Really?
Yes. The Kano market have more financial
But less
power.
sophisticated.
Kano is even the most sophisticated northern state in Nigeria. They have the population, they have the elite class. Most of our billionaire, Dangote is from there.
From
Most
Kano,
of the
yeah,
billionaires that
that's
we
true.
have, BUA, is from Kano.
Okay.
You know? So Kaduna failed. You know Kaduna failed, right?
No.
It did. It failed.
Why?
Because there's no patronage. And the patronage number is low.
But do you still have your Kaduna office?
No, it shut down.
I wouldn't have believed that.
I shut it down this year. I shut it down, but it's not like it's not that public. I didn't like but it shut down. Kaduna failed. Kaduna failed not because I didn't do my part as the cleaning king. Kaduna failed because of two things.
Wow.
Because they don't have the buying power. You want me to clean a set of chair, I clean in Abuja for 40,000 naira, for 10,000 naira. They only patronize me when I have discounts. I have a running cost. So at some point, Kaduna was paying itself, but it was not profitable.
And
yes. So what's the need of you putting machinery, human capital as a business person? And sometimes, most people are scared because they'll be like, how will people look at them? I wanted to unveil it properly with a documentary, like I'm extra sometimes, so I wanted to unveil like Kaduna.
we're going to get into that your documentary because
I wanted to unveil Kaduna's closing down with a documentary, sharing insights as to the multiple business location. But Kaduna failed mainly because the people in Kaduna were not ready for the cleaning culture, and they're not ready to pay for it. And
which goes back to what we're talking about, that this cleaning thing is an issue of contextual living, professional.
Yes, they are not there yet. And then there's now there's something Northern has called Almajiri.
Yes.
So you have a whole massive population of people that will do a proper cleaning of your house, even if it's not both in their eyes it's proper, for 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira sell for a whole month, or 5,000 naira, because they're basically anything you give them, they take it. So those were even our biggest competitions. But the beauty of it, Elijah, is that when I went there, it's as if and that's the beauty of being a leader in an industry. My coming to Kaduna made a lot of people delve into the cleaning industry in Kaduna there, because they're like, okay, if
did you train people in Kaduna?
There are people a lot of people have come from Kaduna to Abuja for trainings to go back. To understand, even from Kano too.
Yeah, and they may be able to work with those price rates.
Yes, because they are based there. But I'm coming from Abuja now, and I'm used to a certain
standard. Yeah.
So my biggest mistake was going to Kano.
And not Kaduna.
No, I did Kaduna first before I did Kano. So as Kaduna was struggling, that's the type of business person I am. As Kaduna was struggling, I still went to Kano this year. I said, okay, maybe it's because Kaduna is not ready. But I heard that Kano people have money. I've been to Kano multiple times.
Yes.
So I've seen the culture.
Yes.
I've seen this thing. But then, yes, they have a rich culture. They like lifestyle. But did I ask myself clearly if they were ready for that cleaning culture? And are they ready to pay the price for it? So I went there with a heavy investment. Money is coming in currently, but it's not based on the trajectory I had set out, because where the block is in cleaning houses. I mean, in a day in Abuja, we make 7 figures from just space cleaning before we now add this thing. So even if Kano prices are not Abuja prices, it means it's supposed to be taking me maybe 3, 4, 5 days to make that 7 figures in Kano, which I'm not currently doing. I had to even take down a small carpet now in Kano is probably being cleaned for 2,000 naira. In Abuja, I think we clean a small carpet for 7,000 naira. So you can imagine, So I think my biggest mistake, which I've learned the hard way, I was even going to open Lagos this year.
But Lagos is a more mature market.
Yes, but instead of that, I want to become more of a custodian of the. Now what you're doing with TMCon now, you're slowly becoming a custodian of the culture of media and tech. So I want to be more of a custodian of the cleaning culture. So I can still spread my tentacles. I don't need to open up the cleaning there.
Okay, so you want to start franchising? Do you want to start opening, giving people opportunity to own?
Becoming the voice. Build the culture more. Now in Kano, I intend to do a lot of activities next year to build a cleaning culture in the community there with various cleaners. Then see how it's going to affect.
So you won't enter Lagos?
I'm not, because most of my Lagos people most of them are my G's. So I don't want to compete with them. I rather work with them. I rather work with them to influence narrative.
I mean, but if someone comes to you and says, I want to start a cleaning company, I want to start YAZ Lagos, but I want to operate with your OS, like the way you do McDonald's and all those things.
I won't do it.
Really?
Because I feel like I love my brand name so much that
I mean,
want to be the one to.
But it's like franchising, right?
Yes, but when you give it to somebody else now, you give them rules and regulations and all of those things that come with franchising. But like maybe my mind might be open to it maybe in the coming years, 5 years or 10 years from now. But another thing again, you're asking about lessons. I don't think cleaning business is a multiple state business.
Really?
Yes, laundry is.
Okay.
Laundry. If you see laundry, you see a lot of people like Prime Wash now. You see that they have a lot of branches, Port Harcourt,
yes.
Lagos, There's some people in Lagos now that are coming to Abuja. Laundry is easy. It's a system. It's just a flow. Their guys, is this thing, but cleaning. Cleaning, laundry and cleaning, they're under the same umbrella, but then disparity is a lot. Wow. So I believe that where I am at, like now, what works for me might not work for someone else. I believe that even if I'm busy in Abuja, I've not even catered for up to 10% of the market here. So why am I rushing? Why am I opening various places when I've not fully
taken over the city?
If I'm fully booked today, let's say we're currently working across 4 locations currently.
We have 4 different locations in Abuja.
Yeah, no, we're currently working in 4 different places as I'm talking here now.
Okay.
And let's say like 10 other companies are working across 4 different locations. Elijah, there are still people calling for cleaning services that don't have cleaners that can come and clean for them, that are ready to pay as I'm talking to you. Let's say 10 other companies now are working. So that's 40 plus 44. Let's say 44 cleanings are currently going on now. There are still people calling. That's how much of a necessity it is. So why not instead of this rigmarole I'm trying to do, part of my lessons, why not just invest more in Abuja and expand?
Yeah, I mean, you could have easily just even taken to like open maybe satellite locations.
Thank you. There was a day I went out with them and I was somewhere, I was like, I saw somebody's laundry in like a filling station and how people were coming with their cars to buy fuel and dropping their laundry there. And I was saying that, I made a mistake. Instead of taking all this money to all these various places, I could have just opened, I'm currently in Life Camp and I could have just opened Gwarimpa, Jahi, Lokogoma, different places, invested more in logistics. And then my CEO was like, no, you didn't make a mistake. It's part of the experience. If you didn't do it now, you would have still done it later on. So I believe that, not that I'm against opening in multiple states or this thing, but dominate it. Do it 10 years.
Consume your market.
Do it 15 years. Probably even leave it for your next generation in the hierarchy. Because for me, I'm not trying to build something that's going to die with me.
Yeah.
I was studying celebrations the other day, this gifting business. Yeah. It's his children now that have taken it, that brought it to
really?
Abuja. Yes, he was in Jos.
Celebrations? From his gifting company, really?
Yes, he was selling from his booth. I watched one, I don't call her name because of branding. Somebody did something like this that you're doing. Somebody interviewed the current CEO.
Okay.
Yes, the guy that took over from the dad after he passed on. So they were the ones that brought it to Abuja, open Lagos. So let me do it 15 years, 20 years. Let me milk it for all it's supposed to be. So that when you take it to another location, resources are already there. Even if you're not even making money. Somebody was telling me the other day that I can see a lot of dominoes everywhere. But sometimes I can see a lot of chicken capital everywhere, but it's probably just 2.
That are actually as profitable
and are paying the rent of all of them.
True.
That sometimes big brands do those type of things just because so that you know that they are everywhere. It makes them look very, very big.
Yeah, they can position.
Yes, so like 2-3 of the Chicken Republic can be the one paying the rent of all the rest of it.
That's very true.
So main lesson is continue. Cleaning industry is something that you have to, because the culture has not yet cut across Nigeria generally. Do things little by little. Take it gradually, no matter the brand name you've built. Just the same way I realized that instead of me fight, because now seeing as our founding fathers have abandoned us, it's just now that they are seeing that the new generation are gingering, that they are trying to pretend as if they have our interest. Yes, I say it for what it is. I'm very plain. Because they are seeing that if they don't take time, it's a simple thing. They say when elders don't do what they're supposed to do, there's a younger generation that come and listen, because they are seeing that we're coming together. I started something called TCN. They are seeing that we're coming together.
What's that?
the cleaners network.
Cleaners.
So I gathered like the hundreds of people I've trained and created a community from it. Because I've learned that now what really matters these days is community. You can
community is important.
Yes, if you have a community, there's so much that you can leverage on. There's so much you can do. Because I don't have this. This person has this. This person has this access. This person has this finance. This person has this space. When we all come together, I've trained people that are already multi-millionaires in industries.
Which is very powerful.
Yes, they are in other industries. They are in agri. They are in this sector. They are in government. They are here. So imagine all of these people in one particular network with one goal of raising the bar in our industry. There's so much that we can do.
So how do people approach, like, I'm sure issues of sustainability has come around in your industry very well.
Yes.
So I'm sure those networks will be ways for you to...
Yes, so that's even for myself now, I'm positioning myself towards, the SDG goals moving forward, because CTM Global, I want to be a global brand too.
Okay.
I don't want it to just be local, Nigeria. I have a dream of dominating Africa. I want to be involved in those conversations regarding sustainability. And again, when you look at the state of things in our environment currently, there's an appetite going on. And I've seen the duty I have as a cleaning practitioner beyond just cleaning and earning from it.
Okay.
I've become more of a custodian of the sanctity of our environment. I don't know, that's the way I see myself. I believe in it so much. So moving further, the sustainable aspects of our clean. Like now, there are some chemicals people use in people's houses. Like that chemical that you said was used in one of your offices to clean. There are other options to it. Or there are ways that chemical can be controlled before bringing it
into the environment.
To an environment.
Yeah,
and beyond even rusting your items, now that's going to stay in the space, it still stays.
Yeah, it still stays.
It stays there even with
toxins.
Your Yes, it stays. It stays with you for a period of time before it goes. And that's why so many cleaners, I was telling my team the other day, there's some materials I've banned my staff from using. So many cleaners in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they're going to have major health problems. Major health problems. There's so many things that are not being done the right way. There's a whole lot of work to do.
So we have work to
Yes,
do.
there's a whole lot of work to do for me as a cleaning king. There's so much I have to do. So Elijah, in the coming years, I'm going to become more of just like an advocate for the industry. Someone that just speaks. There's a voice. Beyond the cleaning itself, my guys can be doing that, but I'm just going to focus on structure. How can cleaning be in line with government? We don't want to have any rights, any law that protects us as cleaners. A cleaner can be hired today, fired tomorrow. There's no way to run to a side of Nigerian to talk to go and this thing. Yes, there's nothing.
So what would you consider the best part of your job?
I feel like the happiness it spreads.
How?
When you enter a space that's organized and clean, there's a way it lightens up human beings. We're doing a service to humanity.
Yeah, I mean, it helps your mental health.
It brings happy families together. If a husband and wife are quarreling and we clean their house for them and come, there are very high possibilities that they'll settle. When they come to their house and everywhere is laid properly, I'm telling you, the work we do is not so. I feel like when we clean people's spaces, the way it turns out, and beyond that, I feel like one of the happiest things for me now, there's a rule I believe in, Dokendo Diskimos.
Okay.
By giving you get, by teaching you learn. And one of the two things that make me very excited these days is my staff and my students. So my clients now, the happiness I give them, my staff, I've seen that I've taught them a skill. I've empowered them. Beyond me now on their own, even if they live here, they've learned something that is a necessity. And they didn't learn it in the basic way. My students now, the people that have come through me, that are learning through me, the people I'm mentoring, they on their own now too can go. And all of these things, I can still coin it under happiness.
So, I mean, recently you released the documentary.
Yes.
Called Becoming the Cleaning King.
Yes.
What was that? What inspired you to do that? And what was that about?
There's a need for stories to be told. Powerful stories need to be told. I feel like without stories, you can't inspire, you can't ignite sparks in the hearts of people. Yeah. You can't change the narrative of industries. So I can't just be going around making money, doing different things in the industry, and I'll not find a way to, pass on something to the next generation of cleaning practitioners coming. So for me, Becoming the Cleaning King is more of a documentary that chronicles like my journey from the very beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not me that even spoke all trades. It's just the people around me, like my wife. was my girlfriend then when I just started the business, you know. So she saw how I did everything, the staff that have been with me for up to 3 years, you know, various people shared that were just in the journey, just sharing it. And I just pray that, you know, somebody sees that documentary and it gives them hope. Not to even just be a cleaner or to do well in their cleaning in their cleaning business, but to just understand that there's a process to everything and that they can if they believe. So with this, with becoming the cleaning king again, majorly, you know, the outlook of cleaners. If Yazeed Yakubu Esq can do it, why can't you do it? And Elijah, take note, the next generation and the new generation of cleaning practitioners are going to be bigger than me. There's nothing I can even do about it. So the only thing I can do now is just to sow seeds that will enable their journey grow, and then they always remember that he has played a role in it. Look at Rema. Rema is doing things that OBO has not done. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
So the next generation, the people coming next after.
I mean, every generation should be an improvement of the former, right?
Yes.
And stories are the right way for us to keep the scripts
Going, yes.
You know,
yes.
that people can pick up and say, okay, I learned this
From this person, yes.
From this person, I was able to do this.
Things that took me 2 years to do, I'm seeing people doing it in 6 months.
Yeah, because obviously they are learning from you in your academy, and then they can learn from your mistakes too.
Yes, I know templates have already been set. I've made some of the things now that we struggle to gain normalized now.
Yeah, operational templates, standard operating procedures.
I'm going to retire at 40.
Retire from cleaning.
27 now.
Retire from cleaning.
Yes. I've mapped it out. I've seen where it's going to go to. So that's why I'm just intentional. As I'm already.
So what does that future look like?
It's more of just being a founding father, but not the type of founding father that let down an industry. A founding father that raised. I want them to erect a statue for me somewhere and said, "Here lies Yaz
with your broomstick and your crown."
The guy that did it, you know, for the industry. I just want to be writing books on cleaning later on, going around schools, promoting it, talking about sustainability and ways that the industry. Elijah, there was a time that tailors were looked down on. There was a time that they used to call photographers cameramen. A time will come where cleaners. Mark my word, today on this team on Takeout Media's podcast, you know, I said it, that a time will come where cleaners in Nigeria will be respected. They will give them their full due. It might take 10 years from now, it might take 12 years from now. But cleaning will be something that you see somebody, as they are graduating, they're telling themselves that they want to quickly go and learn it because they've seen that it's a necessity, there's money in it. So, and it starts from now. The steps were taken from now.
So, I mean, basically, you're really trying to redefine the perspective of cleaners and the ability of cleaners to look at themselves differently.
Yes.
And also people within our generations to pick up the dirty money. Seemingly.
Yes, not even just dirty money, but there are so many other industries.
Yeah, because
that are like mine, like a mechanic. Like I've just been thinking, I know how much I give my mechanic for my cars. You know, when they complain about the company vehicles, the personal vehicles at home, and this thing. Imagine if somebody with our type of educational background delves into something like that. Do you know how much that person can make in a month? So there are so many industries like mine. It's just that it just needs people like me to just go into it and transform it. The same way photography, videography, and tailoring were reformed.
And they're still being reformed.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Yaz. I really appreciate you making out time to join us on this podcast and sharing from your stories, from your wounds, from everything you've experienced. I really felt you were very open here. You really actually did what you said. You came out actually to share your lessons so that people can actually be blessed by all your experience and as you keep documenting your journey. And I really have learned from that because I actually do agree with you. Walt Disney says that the storyteller will be the most powerful person in this coming generation, and that's just the truth.
Yes.
The person that tells the story will captivate the minds of people and the attention of people, and I think you've really done that. And I mean, I will not lie, when I saw you running cleaning business, I was like, if I have money to invest, I'll look for someone that will start a cleaning company and tell him to come and learn under you, you know, as they take, learn under this guy. Because we have a large unemployable population. I don't even want to delve into what you just spoke about, which is people saying they can't do the job and then they'll go back home jobless. and then they go back home black taxing
Yes.
one of their uncle or auntie, trying to get them to pay for their
They
lifestyle.
even pay game of numbers. If I call Elijah, if I call Zara, if I call Yaz, at least one person will send me 10K.
Yes.
So if I do 10Ks in a day,
I got to 50K. Why would I go and walk?
Yes, they do game of numbers.
And we've encouraged very bad behavior by allowing that actually to thrive. So I mean, yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I really do appreciate.
I'm always open to opportunities to talk because I'm getting old. I mean, I'm young, but I just feel like it's clearer now. My life's work is very clear for me, and there is any opportunity to pass on information, pass on knowledge, this thing, and then platforms like this are very, very important. Because messages like this need to be shared, people's journeys. There are people now that when this documentary is out now, when this podcast is out, sorry, I'm too used to documentary.
That's why.
When this podcast is out now, they would, go online, watch it, and it does something.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I'm excited about, I think that's our passion really, is we're always waiting to see how we could tell films about business people. Like there was one that really impacted me growing up. Men Who Built America. I don't know if you watched it.
I saw it, but I never saw it.
It changed my life. I will not lie, it changed my life. I watched it in 2013. It changed my life. That's 10 years ago. It changed my life, and one of the reasons why it did was because I saw that young people could build something. Yes. And these people that we saw growing up, they were not any far different than
how we are now. It just evolved into what we are seeing
What we are seeing today. Yes, and it just takes us taking one step.
Yes, every day.
And I think that's the same thing what you're doing with YAZ Laundry and Cleaning, because eventually it's going to be a new set of management. It's going to even grow beyond you as an individual, and you keep doing what you're doing. Yes. So thank you very much, Yaz. I really appreciate you making it. And if people want to keep track with you, how should they follow you? How should they watch the documentary?
Okay, they can watch the documentary on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
At YAZ LCS on YouTube. Oh, yeah. And they can follow us on Instagram on YAZ Laundry and Cleaning Services.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Yaz. Guys,
thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. And if you really love this episode, I did an episode also about talking about how to build a business from Africa, and you see it in the link below. And then also ensure you like, subscribe, share with those who you think will find this really relevant. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a great day, guys.